The Feast of Tabernacles, Sukkot. The Feast of Tabernacles is the seventh and final appointed time found in Leviticus 23. Leviticus 23, Yahweh said, "Speak to the sons of Israel, saying, On the 15th of this seventh month is the Feast of Booths for 7 days to the Lord." Verse 42, "You shall live in booths for 7 days, so that your generations may know that I had the sons of Israel live in booths when I brought them out from the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God." So what exactly is this tabernacle? It's a booth, or a small hut, a temporary dwelling place. The Hebrew word for booths is Sukkot. The first mention of Sukkot in the Bible is in Genesis 33, verse 17. "And Jacob journeyed to Sukkot and built for himself a house and made booths for his livestock. Therefore the place is named Sukkot." Once Israel was in the Promised Land, this day was known as the great gathering of all their crops. Deuteronomy 16. "You shall celebrate the Feast of Booths 7 days after you have gathered in from your threshing floor and your wine vat, and you shall rejoice in your feast." This last appointed time of the year is for everyone, a week of coming together, rejoicing, and having a feast. So what does Sukkot represent when we look at Yeshua? When Yeshua has his second return, the Feast of Tabernacles will be the great gathering of his people from around the world, coming back to the Promised Land, the kingdom of God. Also, after the kingdom is established, all the outside nations will be required to come to the New Jerusalem every year to celebrate this appointed time. It's all prophesied in Zechariah. Zechariah 8:22. "So many peoples and mighty nations will come to seek the Lord of hosts in Jerusalem and to entreat the favor of the Lord." Zechariah 14:16. "Then it will come about that any who are left of all the nations that went against Jerusalem will go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to celebrate the Feast of Booths." Now let's conclude the Feast of Tabernacles. First of all, Sukkot is the seventh and last appointed time found in Leviticus 23. Second, we stay in booths for a week in remembrance of how God had Israel stay in booths while they were in the wilderness. Third, when they were established in the Promised Land, this was a time of harvesting crops and having a week-long feast. Finally, today we look forward for the return of the Messiah, as this will be the second great gathering of his people, the great harvest, to the permanent home, New Jerusalem, and a feast awaits us with the Messiah and the Father. I hope this video encourages you to get into scriptures and learn more about God's appointed times. They all collectively show us the entire plan of God's redemption for mankind through Yeshua. Thank you, and Shalom.